Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, a channel where it looks like I haven't changed thirds. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, a channel where it looks like I haven't changed shirts in 3 days, but really I'm just in the mood to record today. So, many of you have requested it and now it's here. We're going to be looking at Arctic Monkeys today. Jesus, my hair. Quarantine got me bugging, dude. Kind of was a harder decision to figure out where to start with these guys because their first album is by no means the most popular. I just kind of went with what seems to be the fan favorite and the overall most popular one, which is AM, which is what we're going to be hearing today. We got 12 songs, 41 minutes. Let's go. First track is called Do I Wanna Know, and I'm going to go ahead and guess you don't. Solid drums already. Ooh, it's a good riff. I can already tell this is very well produced, and I do it. So we're like introducing a love interest, I guess, in these lines here. Oh, I see what the angle we're getting at here. Damn. This is far less lo-fi than I was expecting, admittedly. These like really quiet guitars that are kind of panning left and right sound really cool. Alright. Very solid intro. Very nice opener. Great track. Like I said, this is produced a lot better than I thought it was going to be. It's almost a little too clean, but at the same time, there's certain elements that are thrown in that are a little bit more abstract and kind of keep me a little bit more interested. Angle of this song is a pretty simple angle, I guess. Just kind of being that, like, ex-lover by the looks of it, still attached to this other person, hoping that they feel the same way. Not too much to interpret in this way, but probably a bit of a story setup. We'll see where this goes from here. Are You Mine is the name of the next song. That's a nice riff to open up on. Oh, I've heard this song. Yeah. Yes. I know this from something. I had no idea this was Arctic Monkeys. Yes. Good song. I gotta say, this sounds a lot better in good headphones than it did, like, coming out of whatever crappy speakers I used to hear it from. Got all them riffs. Love it. It's so good. Oh wow, that mixing is really cool. Yes! That explosive energy, I love that. So good. Wow. It is always amazing to me how much more you can appreciate a song that you've heard like 1,000 times before when it's presented to you in a different way. I wasn't at all expecting to hear a song that I am very familiar with, and you know, the title looked somewhat familiar, but it's a pretty vague, generic kind of title that a lot of songs could have, so it wasn't necessarily standing out to me in that way. But listening to it with a really good pair of headphones like I'm doing right now, and actually paying attention to like every element of the music is so much better than every time that I've heard this in like passing very briefly. I'm kind of wondering if there's going to be other songs on this album that I also know, because it is their biggest album and everything, and I know that they're somewhat, you know, they have mainstream appeal to a pretty high degree. I'm not sure what all I've heard and I haven't, but that song was immediately recognizable. Another thing that I want to say about this is that I feel heavy White Stripes influence on both of these songs. and that's not necessarily a connection that I would have made before to this song, but on both of these, it's got like a very simple drum riff. Like the playing isn't anything like huge and extraordinary, but it has like this really just enormous mixing and just like confidence behind it that has a real groove, and I really appreciate that. Lyrically, that track was also another relationship-based song, for the most part, kind of dealing with this relationship that our narrator is in, talking about some manipulative aspects of it. Puppet on a string, I mean, come on. Nothing super deep, but it's there. It's cool. I like it. I like where this is going. One for the Road is the name of the next song. Something very like catchy about that title. I do like it. Liking these falsettos already. There we go. Another good riff. Solid, hard-hitting riffs. The simple drum rhythm. He's kind of doing like a sing rap type thing right here. I'm not sure how much I'm digging it. It's a little, I don't want to say melodramatic, but it's kind of like that. This is much more understated than the last two songs. Like, it's very low key. Not necessarily a bad thing. Backing vocals are kind of cool here. I gotta give it that. This sounded really nice, this bit here. Yeah. Dig that. Nice. Okay, that's by no means my favorite song so far, but I did appreciate it for what it was. I don't mean this is necessarily a totally negative thing, but this is more mainstream, I guess, than I was expecting. It is really well produced, and that's something that I find to be a beneficial thing, because a lot of times with the more indie records, I guess, you end up running into this really pretentious, like, bad mixing, I guess. It's just kind of an aesthetic thing at that point, and yeah, that's a no-go for me. So I do appreciate that it sounds like it was mixed with a lot of good effort and intentions in mind. You know, lyrically, it doesn't seem like there's gonna be anything like super deep on this record. He's talking about, you know, taking one for the road after he's leaving somebody. I believe it's gotta be probably like the love interest that we're already talking about. Seems like they kind of got like some sort of on and off thing going on. Yeah, decent track though. Can't complain. Arabella is the name of the next song. Sounds like a name, I'm not sure though. Really solid rhythm here. Nice. I really like the stripped back qualities when we're like just hearing vocals. Sounds really good. Or just like a couple really minimal things just barely on top of it. Really makes those explosive moments like this pay off better. Yeah, I must say, this is kind of a rager of a track right here. Damn. It just has a really fun quality to it. Yes. Some very cool solos so far on here. I'm digging this. Alright, lyrically, that track appears to be taking on more of kind of the love interest angle. There's a lot of similarities between the tracks, and it seems like it's kind of not telling a story. There was actually some really good imagery in the verses, I guess. Something about the Galaxy's Edge. What was that lyric? It's an exploration, she's made of outer space, and her lips are like the galaxy's edge. I love that imagery. Damn. Like, we just got some really good descriptions on here, and that helter-skelter, whatever was it? And a helter-skelter round her little finger, and I ride it endlessly. Great metaphor. Nice. I do really gotta commend them for that, but that track itself, just really easy to just kind of jam out and have some fun to. Like, I'm getting the vibe here that it's just really not that deep of a concept or anything. It's just really fun to listen to, and I do appreciate the hell out of that, because it's really fun to listen to. Like, what more is there to say about it, I guess? I Want It All is the name of the next song. Solid riff to start. Can't complain there. There's such a steady pace to this song. Like, the drumming does a lot for that, but it's also kind of in this riff. It feels like marching, kind of. I feel like that's kind of symbolic, almost. Okay, decent track. I feel like that's definitely one of the least standout ones so far, but it did see kind of further development on that like symbolism quality that I was talking about with the Coke. Honestly, though, that's probably one of the most memorable factors of the song, and that was literally one word. Can't say that that's one of my favorites so far by any means, but it did have just like a really steady headbanging rhythm to it, and all of these songs have so far. Like, there's no reason I would ever turn that off, even if it's not like a song that I particularly would turn on either. Still, really fun track, talking about love interest, you know, kind of seeming like similar themes throughout. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, decent. And number 1, Party Anthem, is the name of the next song. Oh, we got a little bit of slowdown here, maybe? I like those pianos. Way to send it out. Very nice. Alright, so I've taken many things into consideration here, but I think that is the song that we're going to end on for part 1, and this is going to be a 2-part. This is like just bordering the line of where I would make a 2-part. It's 41 minutes. Usually I stop that at 45. There's some different circumstances going on right now because I am still trying to get daily videos out at least part of the time. I am starting to go back to work though, so it's a little bit easier to have less footage to edit. Besides that, I feel like more people end up actually watching the whole thing when I break it down into 2 parts. I understand. I think I've already said it in this video that my attention span is non-existent, so I totally get it. To make a few comments on that song, because I've now realized that I really have not, other than, you know, when I actually paused it partway through. Really cool song. I dig that one quite a bit. That's definitely one of my favorites so far. And another thing is it feels so good to close the video out on that song. Like, it's such a... it feels like the closer song. So it's really hard to imagine where we're gonna go from here. Yeah, the self-awareness of this track, the very ironic tone that it took, good stuff. I like that, like, poetic quality. Cool. So that's all I have to say for that song. We are going to be covering tracks 7 through 12 in part 2. That will be up the day after this one. So actually, it'll look like I was wearing the same shirt 4 days in a row. Yeah, that's about what I got for you. See you in part 2. And if it's not already, linked right there if it's up. If you're watching this on the day I uploaded, though, it's not. So